Well, hi everyone, it's Marcus and welcome to more Zooming in the Jungle Room. They're about to do a show, but before the show, they're actually talking to me, so I'm really excited. They are Heilung, and they are from Norway, and they are absolutely insane. I've been listening to their music all day, and please welcome Kai, Maria, and Chris. How are you all?
Hi guys.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So you're obviously in the middle of the world tour at the moment. And so tell everyone where you're playing tonight.
Yeah, we're in a beautiful city in Austria, which is Vienna, the capital of Austria. And we're parked in our nightliners right outside the venue we're playing tonight. So, and it's a completely sold out gig. So yeah, exciting to be here.
And how's the tour been going so far?
Good. Yeah. We had the first couple of performances, we had a total heat wave. I mean, like, I don't know how it is for you guys in Australia, but for us Northerners to perform in like 35, 40 degrees Celsius, that's quite exhausting.
Wow.
We spilled a couple of liters of sweat, but then finally in the last performance in Czechia, it cooled down a little.
In Hungary, actually.
In Hungary, sorry, it cooled down a little, and we had some rain, and it was a bit easier. So like the day before yesterday was the first time that I came from stage, and I was not completely and absolutely dripping, sweat drenched. So that.
It is really difficult, you know, when you are dressed up to survive an ice age to play in a heat wave.
Well, I cannot promise you. We don't never know what we're going to get in Australia. Obviously, we're in spring at the moment, but almost by the time you get here, it will be a kind of summer. So, but you know what? You can get anything any particular day. We can have sunshine one day and then cold and freezing the next. So, you know, just pack everything in that suitcase. You'll be okay.
Thank you for saying that. Thank
Cover
you.
all bases. So obviously you are on the way to Australia. You hit Australia. The first show in Australia is October the 30th, which will be Perth. Then excitedly you come to Adelaide, which is where I am, which will be the Adelaide Entertainment Centre on November the 2nd. And then you go to Melbourne, then you go to Sydney, then you go to Brisbane, then you go to Auckland, and then assumably go home and have some form of rest. I'm not sure.
We are all planning to have a little time off in New Zealand before we hit home. Yeah, when we're there, I mean, it would be sad to miss that opportunity.
Now, obviously you have been to Australia before and you have performed in Australia before, but last time that you were here, which I think was 2023, which was totally sold out, it was only Sydney and Melbourne that got to experience you. So for the very first time, you will be bringing the show to Perth, Adelaide, and to Brisbane also. Are you looking forward to coming to the other parts of Australia?
Yes,
very much. Yeah. Have any of you ever been anywhere else? No, you were also your first time in Australia last. Yeah, no, it's going to be such an adventure, and I think we have to fly in between, so hopefully, but we have always one day off because performing the ritual is absolutely takes every drop of energy we have, so we need one day to rest in between, and that day is often used by being able to take a walk in some nature, preferably, or eat some good food, or so any good tips on things to see in these places is very well.
Absolutely. Well, you know what, the good thing about Adelaide is, like, because I live in the city, and you guys, your apartment hotel will obviously be in the city as well. Not very far out of the city, there's a beautiful botanic gardens. I obviously think it's one of Australia's best botanic gardens, so you must go there. And then there's cafes and there's restaurants and bars. There's everything going on. We've got such a really good food and wine culture here in Adelaide. So you won't get bored, promise you.
Oh, amazing.
Excellent.
You will find a lot. I go in the botanic garden.
You know what? I'll bring my car over to your hotel. I'm going to pick you up and we're going to go out driving for the day. All right? It'll be good.
Oh, that sounds excellent.
That's a deal.
I'll wear you out. Hey, so 2015 was the inception of the band. How did you all come together?
Yeah, it's a good question because Kai is from Germany, I'm from Norway, and Chris is from Denmark. But we all grew up doing Viking reenactment, meaning that we are experimenting with our history in the shape of Viking fighting, or making reconstructions of the dresses, trying to imagine what kind of music they might have played. So we met in this environment, and Kai has been working with ancient texts found on archaeological findings. He had a dream of doing some recordings. We made a deal with Chris, and yeah, we were never intended this to be live at any point. We
It started as an idea where Kai wanted to record his poems. Kai is a very, very good and skilled tattoo artist, and the idea was, in exchange of a tattoo, he would record some poems in my studio. And one of the days I asked him to sing a little bit, and from there it kind of exploded.
literally.
It became way bigger. So of course we are playing on many notes. We release books, we release artwork, we release audio that will never be fitted for a live performance until now. And we also produce big live rituals, and it's kind of like a theater performance on a rock stage. But what we do is not acting. What you're seeing and hearing is real and a real intent from the heart.
And because, I mean, visually, on top of the whole audible experience, and you know how you inject feelings into people's souls, I guess. There's this incredible visual experience that goes along with all of it. So it's a complete storytelling in many ways. It's just beautiful. I don't know if you guys remember, there was an artist. So while I've been listening to you guys over the course of the last month or so, there was an artist in the 90s called Enya, who is very much about the earth, and very much telling the stories of earth and Mother Nature, I guess. And from another country's perspective, that is exactly what you guys do as well, but obviously with more a contemporary kind of feel. All right, so your last album was 2024, which is obviously now, which was a live album. Are you considering doing another studio album shortly?
I think we are constantly working on new material, obviously, and we have a lot of stuff laying in the files in the studio, ready for release one day when we feel the time is ready and it has matured enough. Exactly when that will happen, that can be anywhere between 5 minutes and 3 years from now, I would say.
Well, okay, I'm going to ask you all a question individually. Where do you each find your inspiration? Like, if you wanted to write a beautiful piece of music or create a beautiful piece of art, where do you go to find that inspiration?
I guess I start. I have a special way of doing it, which gets more and more unusual, I think, in this time. So I have quite a extensive library with like a lot of old books where I do research in. But of course, I also use the internet and like university archives and everything to dig out like really, really old lyrics, old poems, and stuff like that. And whenever we do a song, it usually starts with that I bring the lyrics. And when you look at old poems, old writings, old ritual texts, so recently I've been listening a lot to the Egyptian Book of the Dead, you will realize everything is in very strict meters. So like the moment you read it out, all the words, all the stresses on the syllables, they are bound. And like we find very often, if not always, that in these old writings there's hidden somewhere a rhythm. And like basically from there, like Chris and Maria, they usually get inspired very quickly and very strong by this, and start to bring melodies and rhythms, and then we bind it together.
Chris, Kai, before we move on, can I just ask you a question? Who's a poet, a current poet, that inspires you, that you look up to at the moment?
A current poet, like someone that is still alive, or is he?
Yeah. And maybe someone that's alive, just someone that inspires you.
Someone very controversial I'm inspired by is Till Lindemann from Rammstein, because like a lot of people know his lyrics, but he also publishes poetry books who are very which are very strong, and I consider him a really good writer as well.
I like that. Beautiful. So Maria, where do you go for your inspiration?
Yeah, I would say I try to actually shut as much as possible out and not think about other things I've heard or read that might influence the process.
Yeah.
It's strange, but when Kai comes with a lyric, if I empty myself completely, there's more or less always a fragment of a melody or something that's just appears. And if I'm in like a nice calm state of mind where, and it sounds weird, but waiting for the elevator has brought me so much music. It's so strange. It's like being in that liminal space where nothing else goes on. You're just like in the limbo state where am I here? Am I there? I don't have time to do much else than just be. Poof, there's a melody. Like it's happened so many times. And it's, yeah.
Elevator music from Heilung coming to you, and
there's the new album all ready to go. There's the inspiration for the new album. And obviously you guys must see so many hotel elevators. I get it.
Yeah.
Chris, where do you go for your inspiration?
So the way, the way, as Kai also said, the way we write music is the source material comes most of the time from Kai. Sometimes I can hear right now they are sound checking one of our songs in a virtual sound check, and it's the song called Asha, and I remember how that came to be. Kai kind of came back from a spirit travel, and he got this lyric and he just put it on the table, and in a way, at first it didn't make sense, but once you start to dive into the words and you start connecting your own feeling to it, right, you start to draw on your inspiration, right, on different things. My inspiration never comes directly from other artists or such. For me, I combine things and sounds from nature or for wherever there's a smell or a sound that I find very inspirational. And then other times, you can work with a concept. For instance, when we did Tenet, the idea of Tenet is from the Satsu Square, where you can read the same sentence in 4 directions, right? So I started a composition around the lyric material there, where the song actually can play the same both backward and forward. So every piece in the song can play backward and forward. I find that type of dogma highly interesting, because it's almost impossible to make that sound good in any direction, right? Yeah. So there's different levels. Also on one of our albums, we do a reconstruction of a Bronze Age songs from Mesopotamia, which is written down on clay tablets, and all these kind of things is just pointing down to something that is deep inside any human on the planet, I believe, right? That we have a core musicality in us, right? And everyone can feed for that in some way.
Oh my God, I could literally talk to you guys forever because there's so much amazing content. Like seriously, I want to meet you after the show. That's what I want to do.
Let's make that happen.
Hey, so wrapping up, everyone, please tell us what can we expect from the show when we get it in Adelaide?
You can expect that if you come in with an open mind, that it will be altered at the end of the ritual.
Yeah, I like it. You know what? I'm there. I cannot even wait. So like we said, everybody, we get this incredible group into Australia from October the 30th. and they leave us November the 13th, which will be Brisbane, and go to Auckland November the 16th. So please get along and say hi to Kai, Maria, and Christopher from Heilung. What an absolute pleasure. What an absolute delight. I'm going to catch up with you guys when you get to Adelaide, and we're going to go to the Botanic Gardens. All right? Done.
Sounds amazing.
Deal.
Yes,
Cool.
thank you.
My friends, all the best with an incredible tour. Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Bye.